Good day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. This is your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, unpacking, that is, the Tuesday show. Christine Boma and Beatrice Masilingi got their houses they were promised after a glorious season last year. This and many more will be on the show. Also, just a reminder that Namibia Media Holdings will showcase the Hage Geingob rugby match, that is the Hage Geingob Cup rugby match that is on the big screen at the Expo, which commences this week. All that and many more you can expect in a fierce week of sports and entertainment. And now for your latest on the hit list. Nedbank Namibia and MTC has officially handed over 2 houses to Namibian athletes Christine Boma and Beatrice Masilingi. The housing project was initiated in 2020 by Nedbank Namibia when representatives from the bank attended a dinner hosted by Janine and Susel Devin Sport Trust, which is a Namibian charity organization that aims to nurture and develop young sports stars. At the 2020 event, athletics coach Hank Botta was awarded a platform to speak about his athletes' developmental program. He introduced Beatrice Masilingi as one of the athletes he was training, and in his address, he gave a brief overview of Masilingi's background and asked for any contributions to aid to her cause of achieving the dream of becoming one of the greatest athletes the country has ever produced. The night, Nedbank Namibia pledged to construct a house for Masilingi, which was influenced by the fact that she and her grandmother had been staying in an informal settlement in the town of Rundu, situated in the Kavango East region. After Masilingi and now Christine Boma arrived on the athletic scene and scooped international accolades at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, MTC came on board to collaborate with Nedbank Namibia in the construction of Masilingi's house. Boma was also added to the list of beneficiaries. The FNB Kudu Rugby Club recently hosted its annual general meeting. Irvin Izaaks was elected and nominated as the chairperson and Lovina Plato as the vice chairperson of the club. Plato's election is significant because she became the first woman in the history of the club to hold the position. Apart from having 2 sons who are actively involved in the club as players, Plato said that it is important for her to also continue her husband Chandler Plato's legacy. He was actively involved in the clubs until his untimely passing in 2020. The new chairman, Irvin Izaaks, said he was honored to be elected in the position. He plans to work towards taking the club to greater heights. Fistball Association Namibia will be hosting the Fistball National Cup tournament on 5 November at the Cohen Fistball Club CFC Sports Ground in Windhoek. The prestigious tournament is played in 4 categories, namely Group A, Group B, Under 16 and Under 13. The first match will kick off at 8:30 in the morning. Fistball Association of Namibia's media officer Helmo Means explained that the games are played according to time and not according to sets as usual. The Aminuis Horse Racing Club expects horses to fire on all cylinders at the Debmarine Namibia Gobabis Summer Derby this coming Saturday. Debmarine has pledged a sponsorship of 250,000 Namibian dollars, which will be used to host the event. This is going to be one of the greatest events we have had in a while, Edison Shiramba of the Aminuis Horse Racing said. Registration for Numbred is 300 Namibian dollars and 400 Namibian dollars for the thoroughbred plate, while registration fee, that is for the import horses, cost around 800 Namibian dollars. Our special cricket segment is up next, and this time around we will just play you some of the videos and interviews we have produced so far. Even if Namibia has exited the T20 World Cup competition, they have still produced some of remarkable performances, and interviews were done prior to the event and also during the event. So sit back and enjoy the segment after the break.
Across that river, Jordan. Yes, I am. Yes, I
am. I'm joined here, that is, by Master Chalo Chainda, spokesperson of the Namibia Sports Commission. And we know that it is World Cup fever from football to cricket, but now we will speak about the Cricket World Cup. Where Namibia will be represented by the Eagles flying the flag high on that side. Mr. Chainda, welcome.
Thank you very much, Jesse, and thanks to be here. It's a pleasure to have us. Yeah, we are very much excited, and we first saw the World Cup, Cricket World Cup tour coming to Namibia, which we were part of. I remember the cricket tour being taken to the parts of Namibia, Swakopmund, along the coastal line, taking it up to the State House and cheering the people into Venduki and other towns. I think that in itself created the atmosphere and in preparation for the World Cup.
Okay, the World Cup is always something so big, and Cricket Namibia has done it successfully, and now it's a qualification in successive season. But they have a bigger task, and that is again to finish in the Super 12. What would your message to them be?
Well, first of all, I must say I'm very proud of the boys. They've been flying the flag very high. Also to really say, please keep up with the good work that we're doing. You're making us as a country proud. I think your opening friendly match with Ireland tells us that Namibia is going to be a force to reckon with in this cup. I really must commend the coaching staff, the technical staff of Cricket Namibia, Pierre Debmarine, the coach. We really wish you well. Keep doing the good work from the Sports Commission and Sport Fraternity. You can count on us. We are really going to request the Namibian public in general and sports fanatics to really rally behind our national team, the Velvetia Eagles, and to make sure that at least they can proceed and get the experience at the World Cup. I think the last World Cup you won some matches. Already with your preparation, we could see that Namibia is really ready. So we are looking forward to really you proceeding and winning some of those matches.
Okay, Charles, as a person that has been involved in sports for a very long time, what does a support of the nation mean to a team? I mean, like having your people behind you via social media and all that. How does that probably motivate a team?
I think it's a very important motivating part, and these messages that we are sending are important, especially to the team. The team needs to know that the nation is behind them. If they get the messages, and we really want to request all our federations, national leaders, please stand behind the team, send them those messages. The tweets are important, the Facebook messages, good well wishes messages to the team, encourage the team to be in that spirit of saying we are not alone. You remember that they are on their own, they are very far, playing far from home. So those messages will really encourage the team to bring that spirit within the team to make sure that they are really representative of the brave.
Of the Eagles, yes.
Of the Eagles,
of the rich,
the land of the brave.
On the land of the brave, yes. We have our people in Australia. I'm sure there might be some Namibians in Australia. Any word for them to encourage them to spend just a bit to get that ticket and go and watch the team?
Please get the Namibian compatriots abroad, especially in Australia and neighboring countries. Please get the tickets and get to support the team as they play. We also want to really request our embassies across that part of the globe to really go and rally behind the team, invite the team, go and give them the support. They really need that support.
Okay. In terms of, we spoke of the current crop of players, and speak of the Picky France and all these players, would you say that you are satisfied with how this has all gone, and now the fact that we are at such a big tournament again?
I must say, I think it's important to really appreciate the role and the work that has been done by Cricket Namibia in terms of transformation. In cricket, we see some players from the previously disadvantaged groups, especially from the black communities, making strides in cricket, getting involved at that level, being chosen to the national team. And we really want to encourage other federations to follow suit. If we are to see talent in a united nation, because normally they're saying sports is unified. So we use sport to be a social tool for social cohesion. So we really want to thank the administration at cricket, the leadership, especially the executive of cricket, for working towards that part, and also really to thank the administration of under the leadership of Johan. Really, guys, you're doing a very good job at cricket. Keep doing that, and we are behind you. We are very proud of the work that we're doing.
Thank you so much.
Great.
By Dixon Vambi from the Namibia Sports. Dixon Vambi, just give us a quick insight of what part you play in the cricket fraternity.
Oh, thanks a lot for having me. I've been involved for cricket for almost 15 years as a coach, and currently I run Namibia Cricket Academy, which has cricket academies all across in 7 different towns in Namibia. So basically, I run the grassroots development of cricket in different towns.
Okay, Dixon, do you think the growth of cricket is moving at the right pace, and do you think there's more that can be done to take the game to the grassroots level?
Look, I think over the years a lot has been done in terms of the growth of cricket, and also the quality of players. But myself being involved in development, obviously more can be done in terms of creating not only playing opportunities but quality playing opportunities, and exposing our young talent to international standards at an earlier age. It's important that our youngsters get an opportunity to tour, get an opportunity to play against different opposition, which in ourselves, we're trying to do our best. We had a school visiting from South Africa, from Worcester, and we'll be taking the boys to England, and a couple of months ago we were also in Zimbabwe. So we are trying to do our part in terms of just creating quality playing opportunities for the youngsters, and more can be done in terms of a federation perspective as well, and in terms of all the stakeholders that are involved working together and making sure that we create quality cricketers for our country.
Okay, well, moving on, the Cricket World Cup is next year. Namibia is in the Cricket World Cup. What do you think the chances are for us, or how do you think we'll do in the tournament?
I think our chances for Namibia in the World Cup are quite healthy, maybe even healthier than the last time. It is the second time that Namibia is featuring at such a stage, so a lot of experience that comes from it, and I think it's a good squad and a good group of guys that know what they're doing, that have their roles cemented and know what they're doing, and great game plans. Obviously, we need to remember that it is an international stage, and we're not far off from the best of the best. So we are rooting for the Eagles, and we know that they'll put up their best fight.
Okay, not to put you on the spot, but can you name a few players that we can actually look out for, that are actually might be players that we can look out for?
I think it'll be exciting to watch what Loan Lawrence will do if he gets an opportunity to play. Michael van Lingen as well, quite an exciting youngster. Devan Lokoko has been consistent and quite exciting. So I think those three are some of the players, and of course not leaving out Ben Shikongo. Those are some of the players that will be exciting to watch at this world stage.
Welcome to the show. So what is your company's involvement in Cricket Namibia and the team's participation in the T20 Cricket World Cup?
So Distar Namibia is a Namibia business that distributes Rishlu, and through that brand we sponsor the national cricket team, the Rishlu Eagles. It's a 3-year sponsorship commitment that was signed in March, and we're very, very honoured to be able to sponsor such a successful sporting code and a credible sporting code. And that was important when we were making our decisions, in that not only how is our money going to be spent, but how are the players going to be developed and how would they benefit from the sponsorship other than just a name on a shirt.
All right, so what does this involvement mean for your company and in terms of promoting the game of cricket?
Absolutely. So Richelieu's always been involved with cricket probably for the last 5 years through a sponsored T20 series, but now we've just taken it to a next level, and it's interesting that an alcohol brand for the first time has been able to sponsor the cricket team. I know that other brands are involved with other sports codes, but it just takes the brand further and it gives the brand a wider footprint other than events that we're all familiar with.
All right, so you mentioned that you'll be traveling to Australia to see the team play, obviously. What are just some of your expectations, would you say?
Absolutely. So I'm going as a representative of Richelieu, Richelieu Southern Africa, not just Namibia, and to support the team. Although the team may not advertise Richelieu Eagles on their shirts because of the ICC regulations, we'll be there in spirit, and it's really phenomenal that a Namibian sporting code can have such a response and such support. Myself and the MD, Leon Fischer from Distal, Namibia, will be leaving tomorrow morning early, and we'll be there for their first game in the grandstands against Sri Lanka.
Perfect. I mean, yeah, that so obviously if maybe the rain doesn't hit, because there was a game that we were supposed to play, and obviously the rain came down, so maybe any thoughts on that?
That's right. So it is well known that it's the rainy season in Geelong, but I believe that these venues are decided many years before the actual World Cup. We are praying for good weather, as was the case in the warm-up game against Ireland.
All right, so is this your first time traveling for such a big tournament? Have you ever traveled for cricket before?
I haven't travelled internationally for cricket, but most certainly locally. We've been supporting the Richelieu Eagles through all their games, and yes, this is a phenomenal opportunity for not only the brand, but also on a personal level, to be able to support the team and to go with the other supporters. There's a party leaving tomorrow, some people are already there. So on a personal level, I'm very honoured and privileged.
We're going to be watching you on the screen, hoping to see your face, maybe just waving the Namibian flag. And just lastly, before we let you go, is there a message to the team as they prepare to face Sri Lanka on Sunday?
Absolutely. So I have a flag and an Odelelo skirt, so I'm the one in the stands. But yes, the team has always been about aligning with the brand synergies, and that's about creating memorable moments. They've performed so well on the international stage together with our other sportsmen and women, and in the words of Gerard Erasmus, the captain, they are going to do their best. And I think from a business and a personal point of view, that's all we ask of them, is to do their best. They have played against some of the teams before. They've done extremely well. I know they've put many, many days of practice ahead of the World Cup together with their leadership and their coaches. So we are very excited, and all we expect as a brand is that they do their best.
All right, thank you so much for coming to the show, and please do carry the Namibian spirit with you, and I hope to see you on the screen.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity.
I'm gonna cross that river, Jordan. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Now, those were just interviews that we have done before. We just wanted to showcase them and recap those special moments that it took, how exciting it was and how excited people were. The fact that Namibia was due to partake and compete at this tournament. Unfortunately, they didn't qualify to the Super 12, but they were still a force to be reckoned with. Ario Hart is up next after the break. Stay tuned.
Good day everyone, it's time for international sports news, and starting off with tennis news. It is on the WTA, that's the women's side of the world of tennis, and it is the WTA finals that's taking place at the moment, Fort Worth, Texas, in America. It's again for the second year in a row moved from China. News from the tournament, number 2 and 3 in the world currently, they all lost in the first round. It is firstly Ons Jabeur of Tunisia. She is currently world number 2. She lost in the first round against Aryna Sabalenka, and the score there was 3-6, 7-6 and 7-5. And also number 3 in the world, Jessica Pegula of the USA. She played against Maria Sakkari of Greece. She's number 5 in the world, and it was Sakkari that beat Jessica Pegula by 7-6 and 7-6. It's the best 8 women's players in the world that qualified for the WTA finals. Ons Jabeur from Tunisia, she had a great year. She played in the Wimbledon and also the US Open finals, lost both of them, but also won the Madrid Open earlier this year, beating Jessica Pegula in March in that final. In the other 4 players still to play in the first round would be number 1 in the world, Iga Swiatek, and she's up to play against Daria Kasatina, and then also Coco Gauff of the USA, and she will play against Caroline Garcia of France. On to some soccer news or football news. It is lots of excitement leading up to the World Cup that's going to start in a few weeks' time. That's going to be in Qatar. Bad news for France leading up to the tournament is one of their star players, Paul Pogba. He's out of the tournament because of a knee injury. He had knee surgery earlier in the year. He's also battling with a thigh injury, and it was announced by France that he won't be able to play on the 22nd of November this year. This month against Australia. That will be the first game for France in the World Cup. And Pogba last played in March when they played against South Africa in a friendly that France won by 5-0. And the opening game of the World Cup will be on the 20th of November with host Qatar playing against Ecuador, and then the next day it will be England that play against Iran, and Senegal, they will play against the Netherlands. And continuing international sports news with golf news, and it was the Portugal Open that was played, with the Portugal Masters the last weekend, and good news for Jordan Smith of England. He won the tournament, but most significantly he jumped many places on the world rankings. He's now number 81 in the golf world rankings. Before the start of the tournament he was 246 in the world, so he jumped all of 81 positions. So it's a great performance by Jordan Smith. And talking about the world rankings, currently Rory McIlroy is still the world number 1. He's from Northern Ireland. Scotty Scheffler of the USA, number 2. Then Cameron Smith, that currently plays on the Live Golf Initiative, he's number 3 in the world. And then John Rahm is number 5. Patrick Cantley, number 4. And still the world rankings is a discussion point in world golf, and that is because there's no world rankings offered to the players that play on the Live Golf tournament, and that's got a big effect on Cameron Smith, now world number 3, but also some of the big names that's very low on the rankings at the moment. Dustin Johnson, number 31, Louis Oosthuizen of South Africa down to number 43, and then Bryson DeChambeau, number 52, and also Patrick Reed, he's 60th in the world, so not good for the Live golfers at the moment. It is Dustin Johnson that played in many of the majors this year. He was 24th in the US Open. He was 6th in the British Open, but then he missed the cut in the US PGA. And to close off today's international sports news, some cycling news. The British cycling chief executive, his name is Brian Facer. He announced that he's going to step down in his position. There was lots of controversy in British cycling recently, and he decided to step down. The controversy was because of a sponsorship with Shell, that is the oil giant, that sponsorship for 8 years that he closed, and it was controversial because of the environmental policies of Shell at the moment, but also there was a transgender participation issue that was in March. Emily Bridges, she was not allowed to race in one of the races by the governing body UCI, and it was then Brian Fraser that changed the policies of British cycling, and that was also controversial. So that is the cycling news all over the world. That's the international sports news for now, and with that we close, and hope you have a great sport day, and we talk again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And that brings us to the end of today's show. Catch the Sport Rep again tomorrow at the same time and place. Goodbye.